So, what do you do when someone has ghosted you, someone that you care about has ghosted you? Well, there's not a lot that you can do where that person is concerned, but here are some critical things that you can do for yourself. Number one, take an inventory of the situation, and if you have shown up in a way that is fair and reasonable and respectful, if you can't think of something that you have done that has transgressed the relationship, then the ghosting is not about you. The ghosting is about the other person. And your job is to realize that there's nothing that you can do to fix or mitigate that other person's perception or the way they are handling things, but you can make sure that you don't let yourself fall into the trap of trying to figure out what's going on with them. Because your effort to try and figure out what's going on with them will pull you out of your centered state and take you down a path that doesn't lead anywhere good for you, because you will never know the truth of why this person is doing what they do. And I say doing what they do as opposed to treating you the way that they are treating you, because they're not treating you the way they are treating you because of you. They are treating you the way they are treating you because this is how they cope. This is how they handle certain situations. This is what they have learned to do to navigate life. And it's okay. When you think about yourself, and those times that you have shown up poorly, or those times when you were just overwhelmed and didn't know what to say, or those times when you felt vulnerable and almost attacked, and it was just too hard to share or admit that that's how you're feeling. All of that and more is what your ghosting person is likely going through. But unless they are willing to talk to you, you can't figure it out, and you shouldn't use your precious interior trying to jump into someone else's body and mind. But you can always leave the door wide open. You can decide that you're not going to take this personally and still show up for them if there's the opportunity to do that, without expecting them to realize how they have been behaving. We each are here to learn. We each are here to grow. And the best way to grow is to bump into one another and see how we respond. And if we can acknowledge that how we are responding is not how we want to respond in the future, then we have just given ourselves a roadmap for how we can begin to work with ourselves more consciously, with greater awareness, so that we can show up in our lives with new people, if that's what is required, but in our lives being the person that we want to be, courageous enough to have the difficult conversation, honest enough with ourselves to acknowledge, admit, and apologize when that is appropriate, comfortable enough with ourselves, aligned enough with ourselves to be able to experience discomfort with another and not turn that onto ourselves and beat ourselves up in some unloving way. Our job, first and foremost, is to love ourselves. And the way we love ourselves is seen in the way that we are accountable to ourselves. We tell ourselves the truth. about the things that we need to, our participation in events or breakdown. We tell ourselves the truth. We acknowledge how we feel. We even acknowledge in how we feel that we wish it were different. We wish that this impasse between this other person that you care about wasn't what it is. But in that it is, your job is to love yourself through this, to stand in yourself, to not take on what does not belong to you, and to deeply and profoundly love and accept yourself and trust that this is going to grow you in ways that you will benefit from in the future. And if that means that your whomever comes back into your life, or things, an opportunity opens and there's a greater honesty and clarity that happens for you, that's fantastic. But in the interim, you have extended to yourself the kind of self-care that sends the message to yourself that you matter to yourself enough to pay attention to what belongs to you and to leave what belongs to someone else to them and their journey. I hope you found value in that video, and if you did, would you do me a favor and subscribe and share the channel with other people in your life so that we can bring you more information in better ways. I thank you for being a part of this journey, and I hope that it's a long ride. I'm loving you.